Hostin. Sounds like a town. We're in sunny Hostin. She was on PBS's Finding Your Roots, a show dedicated to researching celebrity ancestry. For context, Sunny is a staunch supporter of reparations and has made a fortune spewing nonsense about white privilege and racial justice. Well, turns out she's not as oppressed as she claims she is. She's actually the descendant of slave owners from...
Oh, I'm a little bit in shock. I just always thought of myself as Puerto Rican, half Puerto Rican. I didn't think I was, my family was originally from Spain and slaveholders.
Yeah. So how are you feeling, my friend?
I think it's actually pretty interesting that my husband and I have shared roots.
Yeah.
So I do appreciate that. And I think it's great for our children to know this information. I guess it's a fact of life that this is how some people made their living, on the backs.
Greg Gutfeld just put Sunny Hostin on blast, and the view will never be the same. What started as a shocking ancestry reveal turned into one of the most humiliating moments in Sunny's career. From awkward silence to social media roasting, this was a disaster that left even Whoopi Goldberg speechless. So how did one simple discovery unravel everything Sunny had built her image on? And how did Greg Gutfeld turn it into one of the biggest takedowns of the year? Let's break it all down.
People have to wonder, where does Sunny Hostin get her opinions?
Yeah.
Like you said, it's obviously from her husband. She has to tell her what to say on The View, because without it, she's got nothing up there. She's not very bright. But the problem with her is that she went full race.
Sunny Hostin appeared on PBS's Finding Your Roots, a show where celebrities uncover their family history. As a well-known TV personality, she has spent years speaking passionately about heritage, justice, and identity. So, when she sat down with renowned genealogist Henry Louis Gates Jr., she expected to hear a moving, inspirational story about her ancestors, maybe tales of resilience, hardship, or an unexpected family connection to history. But what she actually discovered left her in total shock. Her ancestors weren't struggling immigrants or revolutionaries fighting for justice. They were slave owners.
Quote, a lens of empathy. Debate highlights ableism in politics. Pat Fetterman can do for disability what Obama did for race.
Say what?
See, because when all else fails, use identity politics. But MSNBC's Lawrence O'Donnell wanted Steph.
Sunny's jaw dropped as the reality sank in. She blinked, hesitated, and tried to process what she had just heard. The silence in the studio was uncomfortable, almost unbearable. She muttered, "I didn't think my family was originally from Spain or slaveholders." For a moment, she seemed completely lost for words. And for someone who has built an entire career on calling others out, this was a moment no one saw coming. And before she could even figure out how to react, the internet had already exploded. The moment the episode aired, the internet went wild. Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube were flooded with clips of Sunny's reaction. Some viewers were shocked, others laughed, and many just couldn't believe the irony.
I make fun of The View a lot, but that's only because they keep talking. Those hens are always clucking. They get to say stupid stuff for an hour every day, and then I get to say stupid stuff for an hour every day, except on purpose. But every now and then, one of those dingbats inadvertently says something that reveals modern liberal thought so perfectly, it deserves further study. Like a weird serpent that washed up on the beach and you want to poke it with a stick.
One tweet summed it up perfectly. Sunny Hostin finding out her ancestors were slave owners is the biggest plot twist of the year. Another viral post mocked her reaction, saying, "Reparations? Let me write that check to myself real quick." And then came the memes. Users edited clips of Sunny's stunned reaction, adding dramatic music, slow motion effects, and even cartoon sound effects. One of the most viral memes compared her moment of realization to a WWE wrestler getting hit with a finishing move. Even her own fans were struggling to defend her. Some tried to argue that she shouldn't be blamed for her ancestors, but others pointed out the double standard. If she had no problem calling out others, why shouldn't she be held to the same standard? And then, Greg Gutfeld stepped in. If there's one thing about Greg Gutfeld, It's that he never misses an opportunity to call someone out.
Athletes are so isolated, they've forgotten that most Americans don't get paid to sit in a comfy chair pontificating about everything all day. Nope, some of us are cameramen whose names I don't know. But maybe one day when we finally strip away this phony race war, it will finally expose this elite mentality. And we'll find out Sonny is just like Marie Antoinette, except she says, "Let me eat cake."
And when he saw Sonny's reaction, he didn't hesitate. He kicked off his segment with a brutal joke. Sonny's ancestors were slave owners? That's like finding out a vegan secretly owns a steakhouse. The audience erupted in laughter, but Greg wasn't done. He pointed out how Sonny has spent years calling others out for historical injustices, demanding accountability for past actions, and pushing for people to acknowledge their privilege. Yet, when it came to her own history, she shrugged it off and quickly changed the subject. Greg's co-hosts laughed, adding their own comments about the irony of the situation. One even said, "Next time Sonny pulls the race card on The View, someone should remind her, at least we're not slave owner racists."
People have to wonder, where does Sonny Hostin get her opinions?
Yeah.
Like you said, it's obviously from her husband. She has to tell her what to say on The View, because without it, she's got nothing up there. She's not very bright. But the problem with her is that she went full racist. She injected skin color into a fairly generic behavior seen in all spouses, regardless of skin color. People marry, they listen to each other, they have something in common with them, they share their political views. She just didn't want to upset her husband by saying her husband makes her do everything, and then she'd have to accuse him of being a racist. Because if he told her that this is what white women do, then he's a racist.
It was clear this was not going away anytime soon. And while Gutfeld was roasting her on air, The View was scrambling behind the scenes. Behind the scenes, The View's producers were panicking. The moment Sonny's ancestry revelation went viral, the show's executives knew they had a major problem on their hands. Controversy isn't new for The View, but this was a PR nightmare. Normally, when one of their co-hosts is under fire, the panel rallies together, shifting the conversation, downplaying the issue, or even cracking jokes to lighten the mood. But this time, nobody knew what to say. Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar, both known for their quick-witted responses, looked uncomfortable. Reports suggest they were caught off guard and unsure of how to handle the situation. Even during commercial breaks, the atmosphere on set was tense. Producers were scrambling to figure out how to steer the conversation away from Sonny's embarrassing moment. Insiders claim that ABC executives were furious. The View has already been losing credibility with some audiences, and now, this just made things worse. Producers were debating damage control strategies. Should they ignore the backlash and hope it blows over? Should Sonny address it directly? Or should they spin it into a larger discussion about accountability? At one point, according to behind-the-scenes reports, there was even talk about re-editing clips for future replays, something that's been done before when The View wants to control a narrative. But the internet had already gotten a hold of the moment, and it was too late to stop it from spreading. One producer allegedly pulled Sonny aside after the show and advised her to issue a statement, something acknowledging the irony of the situation while also shifting the focus to a broader discussion about family history and the complexities of ancestry. But instead, Sonny brushed it off, seemingly unwilling to address the backlash head-on. Even her co-hosts seemed divided. Some wanted to move on as quickly as possible, while others suggested using the controversy as an opportunity for a deeper conversation. But no one could agree on how to handle it, and that led to one of the most awkward on-air moments in recent memory. The network's top priority was clear: don't let this turn into something bigger. But that strategy failed almost immediately because while The View was busy scrambling, Greg Gutfeld and the internet were already in full roast mode. And with every meme, reaction video, and viral clip, the damage to The View's credibility and Sonny's reputation only got worse. Now the real question is, can they recover from this? Or is this the beginning of the end? Greg wrapped up his segment with one final punchline that left everyone speechless. When you spend your life looking for racism everywhere, eventually it finds you, even in your own family tree. And just like that, it was over. Even some of Gutfeld's usual critics admitted he had a point. This moment could have been a turning point for Sonny. She could have acknowledged the irony, opened up a bigger conversation, or even just laughed at herself. Instead, she brushed it off and acted like it was just another day at the office. Even her co-hosts on The View didn't know what to say. Whoopi, known for her sharp humor, might have been holding back a quip like, "Sonny, do you want me to get you a coffee? Or should we ask your slave-owning ancestors to bring it to you?" The awkwardness in the studio was undeniable. But now the question is, what happens next? The View has faced scandals before, but this one is different. Sunny built her career on calling out others. And now, she's the one under fire. Will she take responsibility? Or will she try to ignore it and move on? Meanwhile, ABC executives are already talking about changes. Insiders claim that some higher-ups think this controversy is a wake-up call, and they're considering major adjustments to the show's format. But one thing's for sure, this story isn't going away anytime soon. What do you think? Did Greg Gutfeld go too far, or was he just pointing out the truth? Drop a comment below and let us know. And don't forget to subscribe for more wild showdowns, TV feuds, and shocking celebrity moments. This drama is just getting started.